Welcome, welcome, welcome to If There's a Problem, Solve It. And I know I may be giving away my age and things like that, but I swear I think of Ice Ice Baby as soon as I hear like, if there's a problem, I'm like, yeah. So yeah, if you did that, that's great. That's what we wanted. So if there's a problem, hashtag solve it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is gonna be a really, really good webinar. Who am I? I am Dr. Desiree Alexander. I am your host for today. I'm the founder CEO of Educator Alexander Consulting. This is all of the millions of ways you can find me at Twitter, at Educator Alex, all other social media, Educator Alexander. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel, if you look right under the video, you'll see the description and where we can put information. You may even see the words show more. If you click that, that's how you're going to get to the resource for today. So make sure that you're not missing that resource. If you're watching us live, you can get the certificate of participation, but unfortunately, if you're watching on YouTube, you cannot, but you still get the knowledge. You're still lucky. Webinars that are coming up next weekend. Organize your Google Life with Jen. We already have a whole bunch of people registered, so make sure you get that spot before it goes away or reaches the limit. So Saturday, next weekend, organize that Google Life with Jen. Then we have the master of mindfulness. If you came to the webinar before that we had in November, you know how amazing it was. You can still get that webinar on YouTube. But she's going to do a series once a month about different mindfulness issues. And you know how important this is, especially right now. So the first one is going to be in 2 weeks, in January 23rd on that Saturday, all about a new year, a new you. Self-care for resiliency. And then me, I'm going to be presenting one of my own webinars. February 6th, get interactive with Google. We had such a surge in people being interested in Google Slides and the different things you can do with them beyond just like clicking through a presentation. So we're going to spend 2 hours looking really into Google Slides, the different things you can do with Google Slides, giving you resources. This one is also has a lot of people registered, so make sure that you are getting your spot. So does mindfulness. And guess what? We have so many more webinars being scheduled as we speak. And if you're interested in doing one, let me know. Okay, so again, we will do an evaluation at the end. If you're like, Desiree, you're so crazy, you gave us the link. That link is not active. It's not going to be active until 15 minutes before. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I do want to show for my people watching it on YouTube, at Miss Nyree Clark is Nyree's Twitter, and it is also in the description. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can get what you came here for. Nyree's going to share her screen and take us away.
Hi, thank you, Desiree. Actually, everyone, I want to show you a few things before we get into the project, the presentation, and that is that Solve in Time, which comes in, it's a card game. So this is design thinking. This is a way to get your students or staff or parents, anyone, through the process of design thinking in a very systematic way. All right, I want you to see this. This is the box of Solve in Time, and it comes in this box, and these are the actual cards. So today we are going to actually play a round of Solve in Time. We're going to do a round of Solve in Time together, but I want you to see that it's really a card game. So there's an SOS card that we're going to explore. There's a problem card that we're going to explore. There's a research card that we're going to explore. Understand. We're going to explore solve and share. Those are the areas that we're going to look at as we explore how to solve a problem. And with Solve in Time, that's the basic deck that you get to play with to class or with any groups that you're working with. But there's also extension packs that were created. So we have these extension packs that's an empathy deck. And within that empathy deck, you can solve problems of pollution, sickness, we have poverty, We have gun violence. So lots of problems that are already kind of set out for you to explore with your students. We also have a pack for feelings. So if you're doing problem solving with young littles, you can do negative feelings, like what's a problem of worry or sadness or embarrassment. And I also want to share one other pack with you. It is our equity pack. So we have the equity edition, and within the equity edition, this is where you can have that adult conversation. I've run this dealing with adults, dealing with racism. So we have profiling, stereotype threat. So if you want to have a conversation about racism, and it's a great place to kind of jump in there and have that discussion starter through different ways that people find solutions on how to solve these problems. So we have a civil rights pack, and we also have the pack that we are going to work on today, and that is in our Nearpod. So now I'm going to go back to share the screen. You have the link to the Nearpod. I see that there are 4 people in it. So let me see if I can, if you can, maybe Desiree can put that link to the Nearpod, or it's in there. If you want to join that Nearpod lesson, yes, go ahead and click through. That's how we're actually going to run this session of Solving Time. If you are having connectivity issues, you can use the chat for this as well. And so Desiree and I will both monitor the chat, and I will be monitoring the Nearpod. Thank you so much. I see someone else in there for, we have 8 people in. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get started. Okay. So I am going to show you, actually, let me get the chat. I'm going to show you the teacher version, teacher view, as well as student view, so that you can see, for anyone that hasn't worked with Nearpod before, this is a way for you to see both of those views. Okay. So in the teacher view, here, I can see at the very bottom, I can see how many students have joined. So there's 11 here. You can also see how many cards that you're doing, as well as hiding students' names. So let's click. Let's hide names, show names. So I'm going to click the button to hide names so that this is anonymous. So problem solving in your classroom, you may want to show the name so you have that accountability, but here I am hiding names so that we are just having a collaborative experience. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. As the teacher, I have these arrows to move through the presentation. Also at the very top here, this is your student view. So with Nearpod, you can also click on this button here. You can connect this Nearpod lesson to your Google Drive, OneDrive, send it as an email, and you can take notes throughout this lesson, and it will email you this presentation with all of your information that all the notes that you've taken. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the teacher view, and I'm going to show you this screen. So what you will notice is that I am doing a live lesson where I'm controlling it. So that slideshow will have moved for you. This is what it looks like. So I control the movement of the slideshow. On your resources that that I have shared with you, you're going to get a student view, a student copy, where you can actually click through it at your own pace. We are going to watch this quick video, and then we're going to move on.
Need to solve a problem? All you need is a team of 2 to 4 people, solving time cards, and a timer. The first card is a group help card called SOS. Your team can use this card when in need of help, but it also serves as a reminder to apply critical thinking and to collaborate to answer questions on your own. Step 1, problem. Set a timer for a minute or 2 to discuss and agree upon a real and relevant problem to solve. Step 2, research. Add 2 to 5 minutes and as a team, use personal knowledge and research to answer the question that is related to the problem. Step 3, understand. Add another 2 to 5 minutes to your timer and use your empathy and compassion to answer the question about the problem. Step 4, solve. Add another few minutes to your timer and use imagination and critical thinking to answer the question to consider how to solve it best. Step 5, share. You're going to need extended time for this part, so give yourself anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes to use communication and creativity to design and share your solution to the problem. Kudos to all groups that work together to solve their problem. To get your own Solve in Time cards, go to solveintime.com and check out the resources to help you in your problem-solving adventures.
Okay, so here are those cards that I showed you in real life or even digitally. We have that SOS card, and that allows the teacher or the facilitator to actually be able to strategically help all the students, all the groups that are working. And also that group can only use that SOS card one time. So the goal of it is for them to exhaust all the ways that they can try to figure out what that question is before they have to ask for help from the teacher or whoever is facilitating it. So they become very strategic about using that, and they have to agree as a group. So the first step is problem. We are going to identify and summarize a real and relevant problem. So we're going to pick a problem to solve. What I've done here is I took a picture of the class challenges. So these are the problems in that extension pack: participation, lecture learning, disruption, time, boredom, instructions. I want you to pick one of those areas, one of those problems to solve today. So identify and summarize a real and relevant problem. So right now you will see I have the timer. I've given you, what's nice about Nearpod is you can, and I'm sure Pear Deck has it as well, you can set the time limits right in the presentation. So we have, I know which one to solve. So I can press start activity, and now you can type in your activity. So here is what it looks like for students. Identify and summarize a real and relevant problem. You can write your answer here, or I've also allowed the accessibility for you to verbalize it. So this is a great way to use this with your students. If you have students that, especially for the littles, if you want them, if typing will slow them down, let them speak what they're saying right into it. And also you can put it in the chat if you are not in the Nearpod lesson. You'll also notice, so please take your time to go ahead and write in there. And I do want to point out at the very top, you have this symbol here. So for all of you that have studied gifted and talented education, you will notice that these are gate icons, and those are the prompts of depth and complexity. And those are critical thinking prompts to help students go even further, to dig even deeper in that. So this is a prompt. We have 1 minute left of multiple perspectives that just allows all of us to think about all of our different problems that we want to solve.
Can you tell us the categories of problems again?
Oh, absolutely. This is what we'll have to do. I'm going to just go back just to show you. There's actually more than one set in the classroom challenges. So this is the one I took a picture of. So participation, lecture learning, disruption, time, boredom, instructions. When I redo this, I'm going to add that picture to the next screen. What a great observation. So let's go ahead, and now that, thank you for writing it in there, Desiree. Now I can go forward. We'll have to, if I start this activity, I think it's going to start you all over. Let's see if it starts us over, if it lets you continue. Oh, good, lets us continue. So teacher view allows me to see who I have, oh, hide names. who I have answers from, who I don't have answers from. So I see someone's going to work on challenges, time, participation, boredom, engaging lessons in a short time. These are all classroom challenges for sure.
We have a question while people are choosing their problem. When
Yes.
did you use this card activity in class?
So I have used this card activity with a class depending on the content that you want to do it in. So I would do it in that content area. I have not played it at the high school level. I have played it with elementary and at the college level. So we've solved problems for social studies, so we've put it in there. We have looked at problems in science, so it just integrated into that content area. This activity is 30 minutes. You can do a 15-minute version or a 30-minute version. So today we are playing the 30-minute version. So for fifth grade math, I would say that might be a great way to do that, might be through either solving a problem of finance or creating real world problems of math problems related, and let your students, I would let the students come up with the real world math problems and then have them solve them in groups. But we can go dig further with that, Mary. Also, I was thinking word problems might be a great place, but for design thinking, I'm thinking more of letting them come up with the creativity of how they would have a real world math problem and then solve that and shuffle those around with the different groups. So we have everyone that was able to put in, thank you so much, boredom, students did not attend virtual class times, participation. So we're gonna move on to our next one. And our next is research. With the research card, when you have this card in person, there are 6 different prompts that the students will be able to answer. So each group is working on prompts that are personalized to that group. All the groups are not working on the same thing. They're working on research, but the prompt is different. So that's another layer that I love. Because we're doing it remotely in this way, we all have the same prompts. So what caused the problem? So here on your view, you will see that 4 minutes to really think about what caused the problem. And this is looking at details. What are all the different aspects, different details that you can think of what caused that problem? With research, this is where you can actually open a new tab. Students would get their Chromebooks out and actually start researching it. They could go around the classroom and pick other resources from the classroom to start answering and collect this research ideas, get some details there. So I'm gonna quiet down a little bit so that you guys can think about this. Open a new tab and search for yourself and put some things in there for us.
And I will point out that you can have music playing during this time. We chose to not do that because we are putting it on YouTube and we can't have certain songs on it. But I just want to kind of let you know that you usually could have some like little brain music playing at this time.
On the teacher view, you are able to start to see your students start to submit. We have about 1 minute. After your time is up, students lose the ability to enter in. So I do see not enough time to process, lack of technology skills. I can click on it to get more information to see. I think one of the causes of lecture learning is that teachers are uncomfortable in teaching. You can click through. Okay, so I'm so sorry for talking through while you were working, but I did want you to see that in your pod, when you click on one of the answers, you'd be able to click through all of the responses, so your students would be able to see all of their work. You can share it. When I click the share button, it will actually allow me to share that one answer to all the screens. Now in our design thinking process, we have understand. So our first step was to find a problem to solve. Our second step was to research. And I know that this 30-minute time crunch, this is just, again, suggested. You can do this however you'd like to do this with your class. We are now at the understand. This is where Dee wanted to build in empathy and compassion. So how can our students, adult learners, become empathetic and compassionate about that problem? So why does the problem matter to you? Why does this problem matter to you? So here we're using empathy and compassion to answer that question. And here you will notice you have 5 minutes. So again, if you were students were working in a group, they'd be able to work in a group. And here we're looking at that icon of judgment. So how are you showing, judging this situation?
So, Nyree, if we put them in a group, like we can put them in a breakout room and everybody, they'll be able to see this because you put it in a Nearpod. So they can still have that great collaboration while they're doing this.
Well, I actually have a surprise that I would like to share with you guys that might be an even easier way to do that collaboration.
Ooh.
Yes. So, yes. So
I'm gonna hold on.
Yes. Stay with me, everyone, for this one. For introducing it to your class the first time, this is a great way to do it because you kind of walk them through the process. And then I'm going to show you something that you may love for actual group collaboration and breakouts. Gonna love it. Okay, so here, the purpose of putting in this card of understanding is for students and adult learners to be able to understand how this problem really affects them and to really grow those areas of empathy and problem solving and compassion for other people, for something outside of themselves. So it's so powerful with students. So here we can see, and thank you all for just really taking it serious and adding deep thought into this. This matters to me because the organization of instructions does impact scholars' willingness and ability to learn. So as I click through, you can see some of the feedback from our community of solviteers here. 5th grade, I want my students to feel confident in their math skills and feel empowered. And I tell you, the buzz that you hear in the room when you're in person and even remotely in those breakout rooms with people working on their problems, it's powerful. Student engagement has the potential to much higher than content is available in others. Absolutely. So I just want to quickly click through just to give you an idea to show each other what we've created together here. So again, you as the teacher, when you're facilitating this with your class or adult learners, you can go through those questions in more depth and detail. I want to make sure that I want to keep track of time that we have here with you today. We're going to move on to the next step. So in this system of solving time, there's actually 5 parts. We have the problems. So the first step is the problem. The second step, we did research. The third step was understand. The fourth step, I'm missing my cards too now. Oh, yes, that was the third step. This is the fourth step. There we go. The fourth step is solve. Do you see how wonderful Dee did in adding the numbers up there for us? So problem, research, understand, and the fourth step, we are just right now getting to even solving this problem. So this this gives students and adult learners 3 other places to really engage in that problem before they even start to think about solving it. So here we are. Here in this step, we want to use imagination and critical thinking to answer this question. So this is your out-of-the-box thinking. This is where in those math problems, they can actually start to make that authentic and real and relevant connections. Who are some people that can help you solve it? So again, remember that this is the prompt we're doing as a collective, but there are 6 different prompts just for this one solve. So we may be who are solving, who are some people that can help solve it, but other people will have a different prompt at this point in time. Okay, so you have You have 4 minutes, and you will notice this gate prompt of impact. That means, how is it affecting other people? How is it affecting you as well? So that's layering that critical thinking thoughts on top of solving that, answering that prompt. Who are some people that can help you solve it? Okay, so on this one, we can see that we could ask some of the people that can help us solve this would be scholars. We have our classroom teachers. We can ask master teachers, administrators. So students are able to see that this is a problem that they don't have to solve by themselves, that there's other people that can be there to help solve this. So some people solve the problem, teachers, instructors, community, family, administrators, and allowing students to know that all the answers don't reside in school. Like there's lots of answers that they can find outside of school, for sure. Students, their voice absolutely provides feedback. Teachers, instructional leaders, I saw in that other one. Lots of tools and tools, groups, EdTech tools, absolutely. Parents, teachers, siblings, pastors, again, deep community members that are other people that can help help the students understand that it takes a village to do these problems. And it's not just us that are solving it, but our whole communities. We're a community of problem solvers for sure. So thank you, Desiree, for reminding me to actually give you some examples. So I know that because I'm showing this background, you won't be able to see, but like in the research prompt, some of the prompts would be, when does the problem happen? What caused the problem? Who does the problem affect? Why did the problem happen? How have others tried to solve the problem? I really love that one. When we look at understand, some of the different prompts for the understand card, the blue one, is what may happen because of the problem? Why does the problem matter to you? When did you first notice the problem? How did you feel about the problem? Who knows a lot about the problem? Okay. And in our solve that we just did, some of the prompts there is how might you solve it in a new way? Who are some people that can help you solve it? Who are some people that can help? Oh, that's 2 of them. Oh, what are some of the things you need in order to solve it? So that just gives you an idea of the different prompts that could be handled in that group. Okay, so now on our next card, this is the very last step. So again, our first step is problem. We found a problem to solve. Our second step is we research that problem. Our third step is we try to understand that problem with empathy and compassion. Our fourth step is we actually solve the problems we went through to try to solve that problem. And now our fifth step is sharing. So can you just imagine right now as an educator, you are looking at all of these different different standards that can be addressed, listening and speaking, ELD standards, as well as any of your other standards. There's lots of ways to layer in those concepts within this one lesson. We have the share. How are students going to be able to share what they learned, what their solution is? So in this, one group can get skit or play, sketch or poster, song or speech, story or poem, or one group might have all of them. And let me show you what that looks like. I put for us, for adult learners, I gave us all. And do you notice at the very bottom, I actually put other. So what if a student has an idea, maybe they want to code something quickly, they're only going to get as much time as you're giving them. We should have had 15 minutes to do this, but we're running out of time here. So let's see what we can get done in about 10 minutes. And what you can do if you, in this spot, if you don't have time to create an actual product, you can actually just share, what do you think you would do to solve this problem? You'll also see here, this is the GATE depth and complexity prompt for translate. That means how can you take something and make something completely new of it? So how are students taking that knowledge and transferring it to something new, a new learning, or showing and processing that information out? Also, you'll see here there is a bit.ly for a Flipgrid. So if you want to jump on the Flipgrid, you could do that as well. So we are going to just do this for about 5 minutes. Let's look at 5 minutes, and then we will move into the resources, because I really, really want to share what's new in beta. Okay. So here we can see that we have lots of good examples of ways that people could share out their learning. So allowing for, definitely this is where we're allowing for voice and choice. I know that the creator D loves to rap. He loves rapping. So if he was the best way to get him to show his learning is to let him do it in a rap. It could be spoken word, it could be coding, it could be, again, artists. Where are sketchnote artists, you know, and the students that love to draw, creating visual checklists, storyboards, commercials. Many of us have WeVideo, iMovie, so this is a place where you can integrate that. Tweeting as well, so social media. What about blogging? What if they want to do that? So sorry. Thought I'd turn that off. Okay. So here, this is the very end of solvent time. It is that easy. So those steps are your steps to running a session for solvent time with your students. Again, it can be modified. There is a 15-minute version that walks you through quickly, just looking at the different steps. We did a 30-minute version that still, depending on how much the person facilitates, talked through too much of that. So this is the bit.ly. If you would like to jump onto that Flipgrid and see some of the things that other people have done, you can see that there. I wanted to, Desiree has a link that she's going to drop for you that will take you here. So I created this for you that has the video of the solvent time that Dee created. So shows you how to play the game. So you could use that with your students or adult learners. And it also has this wakelet. When you click on that wakelet, it is going to open for you into this wonderfulness of resources for you to see. So here is solvent time, and within it, it has tons of resources. So it has everything for today. It has the website. Dee would love for you to join the website and put in your mailing information, because when you do, you are going to be privy to this next bit of shenanigans I'm going to show you that you are going to love. But here, this is the student PACE Nearpod lesson. Here are cards, score sheets. When I talked about depth and complexity, and if you weren't sure about that, here's some information about that, as well as the different packs that I mentioned to you. Again, those prices are subject to change. These are some free add-ons that Dee has created that you can just download right from the site. And if you do download any of the free things, you get, you're automatically on the mailing list. And then also translations. So Solve Time has been translated into different languages. So that's something that you might like as well as getting connected. But let me show you, and so this is for you. Again, it's on that website. It is on this website right here. This is the Wakelet. Here is, this is Dee, the creator of Solve Time, and a quote that he has here. This is contact info to get connected with me, but this is what I wanted to show you. This is a new Solve Time Google Slides template that Dee connected with Paula from Slides Mania to make this template. So you can actually do Solve Time on a Google slide sheet. If we click this link here at the top, you know what? I'm just gonna drop this in the chat for you guys. Copy. Please grab that. That link is not posted anywhere, so grab that link and copy that. But here you can click on this video and Dee will walk you through how to do Solve Time on a Google slideshow, where you can actually create a different Google slide for each of your students and then put them in breakout rooms, as Desiree had mentioned earlier. These are facilitator add-ons. This is one, the facilitator add-on lets you insert a timer. Google Slides lets you rip off all of the stuff on the side so the kids stay focused right on their one screen. And all the information that you need here. He would love for as many of us to beta test as possible. So yeah, please jump on that. If you go to solventime.com, which is in the Wakelet of resources, you'll be able to get added to that list. So that is me. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. And I think I only left you with 2 minutes, Desiree. I'm so sorry.
I don't even need 2 minutes. We want to hear you.
Oh, that's great. Are there any questions? Oh, yes. Thank you. Is there any way to give feedback? Awesome. On that Flipgrid. So that was actually a Flipgrid. So you can leave your feedback right on that Flipgrid of what's working for you, what's not working for you, because that is how Solve Time has evolved into what we have. It used to be called Smashboard. I don't know if any of you have heard of that EDU, but now it is Solve Time, and it is all because of the feedback he's gotten from educators, from the people that are using it. So yes, thank you, Kate. You can also reach him on Twitter and Instagram. You could leave it there if that's more comfortable for you, or that Flipgrid. You'll be able to leave feedback there. Are there any questions? I hope you guys had fun. I had fun with you. I always enjoy looking at everyone's thinking abilities and getting great ideas of how to use this. I've used this with adult learners. I've used this with GATE students. I've used this with littles, and it just embeds right into the content area. What about the global, global network? Oh, what is it called? I'm losing my train of thought. There's global problems that, that students can solve, like homelessness or pollution. That's another, oh, thank you, SDGs. Yes, Karen, can you actually, can you come on and tell us exactly what those acronyms stand for?
Yes, I am actually really excited about this because I just signed up for the Goals Project, which I haven't gotten the goals that we'll be focusing on yet, but each class gets one of the goals, and SDGs stands for Sustainable Development Goals. Yes. And you focus on real world problems. And I did this last year with my second graders, and they are amazing what they come up with. They are just so inspiring. So I'm excited to do it again. And this fits in with that so beautifully. So I am super excited. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are welcome. And thank you for giving me those words, because I knew it. I knew it was there. And that's a great starting place as well, you know, to partner with those goals. And you can have each group of kids, depending on your grade level, again, have different groups of kids working on different problems and using these cards in person. These cards just gives them that tactical kinesthetic touch of what they're doing and kind of organizes their thinking for them. So it has been outstanding. Oh, Desiree, it's 10:01. I know I have to let you guys all go, but stay connected. Please stay connected. Follow me on Twitter if you want to go further. Follow Solvent Time as well if you want to get connected with the creator. And please feedback if you do the beta testing. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is, if you really think about all the ways that this can be modified, not just for your actual content, but all of the extra packs with equity and SEL, but then even thinking about talking about current events, right? We had a week full of discussion starters, and a lot of teachers are like, well, I don't know how to really walk them through this in kind of a safe way where we don't just get off track. So I mean, think about using it even for that. I'm like, people that know me, you can tell I'm very excited by my I'm just like revved up right now. I want to like go hop in a class and take over and do some solving time. But it just, it gives you a layout for discussion, for critical thinking, for, you know, and you can do it with any topic, not just the topics that are given. So that is awesome. Nyree, you have given us a resource that can really transform our entire school culture, class culture, using it for professional development, you know, using it with your teacher groups. And thank you for walking us through it. Because a lot of times, you know, we're told about it and then we have to go and figure it out on our own. So walking us through it was everything. We appreciate that.
Oh, you are so welcome. I had so much fun with everyone today. And you're right, Desiree, it's so flexible. It's so flexible and it's so easy to get started with it. So yay.